Okay, here's where the story started 6.5 years ago. And we've come a long way since then. We removed all the broken, overgrown yews, did some landscaping, added some trees, window boxes, trim, lights. My oh my, how much time we spent out here. We removed the old carpeting and freshened it up with paint. Added all the new fresh white blinds. We added a doorbell. I love the foyer and the staircase. The grandkids would catch the rainbows coming in through the leaded glass. Look, there's a couple rainbows right now. Added a light fixture. The beautiful pocket doors, kept in wonderful condition by the previous sellers, the Baldocks and Kopp family. And here's the living room. This was all carpeted when we first bought the house. We restored it, reshined them with poly, added a nice ceiling fan. The fireplace was added. There was only an electric fake log, and we added a gas fireplace. I'll get out of the picture. The mirror was supplied by the previous owners, Paula and Laura and Debbie. And Paula brought this mirror over, which we stained to match the mantle. In the dining room, we had moved the buffet off the wall. Behind, we found the words or numbers of the date of the house when it was constructed in 2014 or 1914. And it was inscribed on the wall. We moved it into the other room, and now we've put it back in its original place. We added a chandelier to the room instead of the dated Montgomery Ward ceiling fan. And we added these French doors. They came out of a church near Reedsville, and we put them on sliding tracks. There'd never been any door here. This room became my loom room. I had all different looms in here, and spinning wheels, and sock knitting machines, and sewing machines. Spent a lot of time in here. Towards the end, we made it more into a family room with the TV and a couch. We replaced the ugly light fixture that was in here with something a little more appropriate. And this is the passageway back out to the foyer. This room took on the most transformation. We have a new floor in here. We added an island, which enclosed the dishwasher. And then these cabinets. They came out of a mansion in Fond du Lac. They were part of the butler's pantry, which we bought them off Craigslist before we actually even owned the house. I sanded them down and stained them and polyed them and restored them to their present glory. There were 2 pull-out flower bins, one of which we made into a pull-out trash bin. We added a copper sink because a traditional kitchen sink wouldn't fit, and a matching copper light fixture. Because of the lack of counter space, you need to leave things clear to open the drawers. We added a little coffee station. This kitchen is so easy to work in. I'm really going to miss it. It was laid out really well. We left appliances for the comfort of the buyers. This refrigerator needed to go in this spot, but there was a wall vent here. So Steve built a platform so the heat could still get into the room, or the air conditioning. Pretty smart. Swinging doors. There's one there. And this one here was put down in the basement originally because it didn't clear the refrigerator, which had been sitting right here. This was a little teeny tiny kitchen. The refrigerator and the dishwasher were here. And over here was the kitchen sink and some cupboards. We pulled them out and made it into a first floor laundry. These are the servants' stairs, which go up the back. The original servant in this home, her name was Josephine Rarick. And she was the servant to Ruby and John Ortlieb, the newlyweds. And this home was originally built for them as a wedding present by their parents, her parents, Steve and Matilda Miller. This window had been replaced sometime in the maybe 70s with a more modern window by the Baldock family, but Steve added this beautiful piece of leaded glass that he put into a frame with brackets to make it match the one in the dining room and the living room. I painted the etching with stencils onto the front door. Here we are going up the steps. We left the carpet on these, although we know that they're beautiful wood, but it was easier for the dogs and the grandkids. Here's something I noticed when we first looked at the home. Here is over 100 years of people's thumbnails hitting that piece of wood right there as they came up the steps. Here's our master bedroom. We added a ceiling fan with remote control. We love the old-fashioned wood window frames and the old-fashioned window shades. Those are the original ones from when we bought the home 6.5 years ago. Here we had a large walk-in closet, which is highly unusual in old homes. There's extra hanging space back here. And all of these old light fixtures were left with the home. We replaced the actual fixture in the ceiling with new when we rewired the house, but we kept the old shades, and they're throughout the hallway and the bedrooms. This used to be the grandpa's room for Grandpa Kopf. But now it's going to be a little boy's room. He chose this room because of the shelves we put in the closet, where he said he can arrange his toys. And this room, which was the grandkids' room and my sewing room, is now going to become a little girl's bedroom. And she chose this because the closet has a little window, a little secret space, and she's going to make that her reading nook. Again, another walk-in closet that's highly unusual in old homes. Also in this home, all of the doorknobs and hinges and the cold air returns and the registers all match. This was delightful, having this huge linen closet in the hallway. I had one of these in my house in Green Bay as well. And it was very handy. Loved the old beadboard. So much that we recreated the beadboard in the bathroom. This originally had very dated 1950s plastic wall tile glued on. We took it off. We redid the ceilings and the walls. We removed the 1950s metal medicine cabinet with the flickering fluorescent bulbs, and I found an antique medicine cabinet that I restored. And this was my birthday present this year. We had a regular bathtub we had put in here 6.5 years ago, but then we had a chance to put in this beautiful corner tub. Steve enjoyed the shower stall. This was his, with his fancy shower head, but now he has to leave it behind. But that's okay. I bought him a new one for his birthday, so he can have it in the new house. So we restored this whole bathroom the first year we bought the house, with the exception of the beadboard we did at Christmas the year before, and then the bathtub just this past October. And here's the maid's room with the funky flooring. I love this flooring. And this room I used as a fiber storage room and later on a weaving room. And these were the steps going back down the servants' staircase. Out here is the shaker porch. We replaced the railing with one that was up to code and safe. And out here in the yard, we added this complete fence around the back, a little potty yard around the side for the dogs, and a motorhome parking pad. I believe these were called shaker porches because you went out there to shake out your rugs. The hallway we left carpeted, although we were told it's hardwood underneath, because the dogs would run up and down, fetching toys at night before bedtime. Gave them a little traction. So we're coming back down the servants' stairs into the laundry room. So, long time ago, Grandpa Cup lived with the Cup family here with a bunch of girls in the house. He never had a chance to get into the bathroom. This was a coat closet, and he had a toilet added into it. When we bought the house, the coat hooks were still in here. It was still a closet. We added some trim. Steve also added a heat register, reusing the grid from the kitchen where he had put the refrigerator. And we also added this adorable little corner sink. So now it is a complete half bath. And down at the bottom of the steps, by the second door to the outside, these were the hooks that were in the bathroom. We moved them down here. And here's the basement, along with some of the old Chilton brick for the wall in between each section. And yes, we do get a little bit of seepage in the basement. Every house along this strip of Madison has a little bit of seepage. We moved this cabinet, which was over in the hall where the coat hooks were. It was good for cleaning supplies. And we moved these shelves, which were an old piano packing crate from a piano that had been ordered many years ago for Joan and her brother George as children. Love these old doorknobs. This middle room was my work room. Here's my little workbench and cabinet for paint. I spent a lot of time down here working on projects with staining trim and fixing things, and this is where I dipped my sock weights that I sell online. And there's old Jack Baldock's radio. Maybe it was George's radio. We're leaving that behind. It still works. This room was the root cellar room with the old Rabblestone, I believe they call it, foundation. And here's the new updated electrical that we had added. My canning shelves, where I had all my canning. And one day when Chelsea was down here with me, she discovered this. Them sassy girls. The Baldock girls did this. They used to sneak down here, and this is one of those spray cans where you spray fake frost on your windows at Christmas. And Chelsea discovered that one day. We've left it in honor for the Baldock girls. And another Chilton brick wall. This is a cistern. This is a big old square or rectangular cement pit that the water from outside off the roof would drain down on gutters and pipes into downspouts and would come into the basement. It's all been disassembled now. But the family would use that water. It would get pumped up into the attic where there was a holding tank, and it would pressurize their toilet and their sink. This is the old drain if you wanted to get water from at the bottom for the laundry. And the old faucet. So this is where the maid would come down in the morning and pump up through the walls. The pipe went up to the attic to a big old galvanized tank. We later removed the tank when we were up there doing the electrical. These steps have dips and curves to the wood where many, many years of people going up and down with their feet. You can feel it. Out back, the Baldock family had put up this nice 2.5 stall garage. We stained the back porch in deck railings and added fencing around there to make a nice dog yard, and again all the way throughout the back with a runway behind the garage. We planted trees and we did landscaping and we did nice perennial plantings. We've done a lot. But it's time now to let somebody else enjoy this home. It's time for us to say goodbye and move on to the next adventure and let somebody else live here now. The Maurice family is moving in with their 2 children and their little dog. They'll be moving in tomorrow. But today, it's still home for us. The story started 6.5 years ago with a Coldwell Banker sign in the yard. And this is how it ends. Goodbye, 227 North Madison. It's been a fun journey.